Here's a question from Jodorowsky for everyone, really, because they say
I love their Dune.
Dan
No.
strong opinions.
I have very strong opinions about Jodorowsky's Dune.
Thoughts on it's. They say this is for Graham, but Dan and Michael will probably have opinions. So Dan, I guess, but everyone else is on stage here is also welcome to weigh in. Thoughts on high dynamic range in film, TV, and video games, if or when Loading Ready Run will start producing content in HDR.
Why would you ever?
Excited to hear your very well-reasoned stances. Yeah, why would we? What a
Why
pain.
would you ever?
It'll just make all the files larger, and no one will be able to watch it because their screens don't do it.
HDR is like not a bad concept. It works better in games where there's a lot more. So like a video game's renderer has a lot more access to the whole rendering pipeline, and the graphics card that makes it better able to handle it, but there's still like a lot of problems. In terms of like prepackaged media, HDR is kind of like it's just a mess. It's a mess of competing formats. It's like the biggest thing limiting HDR home media is ultimately the fact that so many TVs are being sold as HDR ready when they are absolutely like, it's like, okay, technically it will read an HDR signal and then completely garble it.
It's just to me, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but it really does seem like this is just the people that make technology being like, okay, well we've got as far as 4K televisions.
Yeah.
Nobody wants anything bigger than that. What's the new technology frontier that we can say is going to be the next big thing? HDR, I guess. And everyone's like, but we don't want or care about it.
Yeah, it's good in concept, but it's not actually that big of a leap in image quality. Like movies have looked gorgeous for decades without HDR. You know, like transfers onto DVD, transfers onto VHS. Like plenty of transfers onto VHS looked amazing. You know, we fell in love with the moving image long before HDR, and the gains are really incremental and in many ways invisible, and also not creatively necessary. The addition to the workflow on the post-production side is it's a lot of extra fiddly work that is often for very little gain, and it increases the chance that the end viewer is not actually going to see it the way it was meant to be seen because of incompatibility.
Now I leapt right into this because we're
high dynamic range.
Yeah, we're similar film and video nerds, and I was just like, oh yeah, talk about HDR, high dynamic range. What does that actually mean?
More colors. It's more than 16 points.
And more light, like the highlights.
So a greater difference in the physical TV of like the brightest and darkest that a pixel can be.
It will be brighter to you because the bright light can be bright.
Yeah, but there's so many TVs being sold that are like HDR compatible that have a normal panel, but software that tries to do like remapping, so it can't actually get physically brighter, which is the thing that it needs to do to be truly HDR. But so many of the TVs being sold can't actually get physically brighter, and so you end up with this really mediocre and unstable, unpredictable, bad end user experience.
I believe kludgy is the word.
HDR is a mess, and that's even before you get into the competing standards. So it's not remotely worth my time, effort, or anything to deliver in HDR.
Yeah.
I capture in HDR, but I don't deliver in HDR. Not worth my time.
Honestly, that's us with 4K. I record stuff in 4K because it's useful for reframing slightly in post, but we don't release anything in 4K because, like, why? It just makes the files big.
It does.
Megan, what do you think about 4K footage?
I have no opinion.